everybody, BM Collectibles here, back for another statue unboxing review for you. No matter how many statues I unbox of Guy, it's never enough. I love this moment, this scene, his character all together, so I'm so excited to be able to showcase this to you today. This is made by none other than one of my favorite Cloud Studios, and you can see only 89 made in the world of him. I have number 65. Here is the battery plate that goes on the bottom. You might be wondering, why the heck are there blue batteries on the bottom? Well, we'll go over that later. Those are actually electronic batteries. And here we have the top portion of this giant base. Now there's only 4 parts that are included to make everything come together. The nameplate was sculpted separately, so this is one of the 4 parts. We have some magnets on the back that allow it to attach to the front there, but you know, just a simple My Guy. I maybe thought they had a swap out, but this is the only nameplate they did include. Taking a closer look at the trim of the base, it resembles that of Guy's veins as they're boiling over. Almost looks like lava as he's opening up that final gate. As for the diorama that goes on the base of the statue, we'll see the nice colored and textured rocks that go along the bottom, just some dark grays, lighter grays that bring some of the shading out, and then that awesome looking clear resin that's Guy's vapor that's kind of releasing all around him as he does open up that final gate of death. So I haven't said this yet, but this statue is actually a quarter scale statue, so quarter of the size of Guy's actual height. All right, so popping off that battery pack, let me grab one of these batteries that I mentioned before. So these are electronic batteries, so they're not actually, you know, your standard batteries that you would buy anywhere around the local stores. It's kind of lightweight overall, and then let me grab this other piece over here that has a wire attached to it that eventually does lead to an AC adapter cable. Now you might be wondering, why am I even talking about this? It's because I hate batteries. They have the potential to leak acid. You have to replace them over time. So these electronic batteries get plugged into the wall and it just totally eliminates that whole process of needing them. So you put in those 2 dummy batteries and then you have this main one that plugs into the AC adapter. Here is what this looks like. So depending upon how many batteries you use, you have to give each battery 1.5 volts. So you'll notice that the arrow is on the 4.5 because I do have 3 batteries here. And so depending upon how many you need, you can buy those. Now, links in the description of my Amazon affiliate. If you ever want to pick these up, check that out. These are an amazing alternative to replace batteries and then also just to make sure things are plugged into electrical outlet. So this is actually going to turn on by my normal remote control that I'll use. And here is what these look like in the dark initially. Very bright and vibrant looking. Now the LEDs are just shooting from the bottom portion. So you'll notice here actually, if you remove the nameplate, you might have saw before, you can turn the LEDs on or off by pressing the button that's inside of there. So that's a nice little feature that they baked into it. If you do want to save the batteries, if you're going that route. If you've been around the channel for a while, you will know I love adding custom lights to my statues. So if you notice on the back side of the statue, a lot of those flames are not getting lit up like they should. So I added some LEDs on the back. Now that's because the LEDs are on the very bottom, so it's very difficult for them to travel all the way through those. So that's how it looks off, and that's how it looks on. We're also giving it a little bit of movement there. Here's how it looks with the ×2 speed pulsating, and there's the ×3, which that's what I'll probably go with right there. The tutorial for how I do this will be linked right here above. It should pop up in case you want to check that out. But my gosh, here is the lower torso and legs of Guy. You've seen me hold statues before, so based on just what it looks like right here in my hands, you better know this thing is freaking huge. As we saw, there's a giant steel rod and that like to support the whole body, and the texturing that goes all throughout Guy's outfit is incredible looking. It's not over texturized, it's perfectly fitting. And then we have some of it, you know, obviously torn from his battle that he already went through with Madara. Very interesting, his headband that I normally imagine it being cloth, they did sculpt it to look like a leathery belt. And one thing I'm sure you notice is it's awesome, the blending of both painted and clear resin on there. The way that they sculpted all these flame-looking particles, obviously that's the vapor that's coming from off of his body. That is incredible, the way that it all blends and comes to life together. And with everything looked at, we'll go ahead and key him into the slot and get him onto the base. Now that steel rod just goes into a round hole that's on the left side there. And just awesome looking. Now, one thing I will mention is the muscle tones that they gave him are perfectly proportionate. Sometimes they give characters too much muscle, and that's not the case. It's so spot on for him. Speaking of spot on, here is the upper part of his body. Now we have a steel rod on the right there that's going to connect to the top of the lower torso area. And here's the battery cartridge on the bottom. Unfortunately, I can't get around this one. I don't think they make electronic batteries for these large around small ones. If they did, or if someone knows how to, power this bad boy, I'd love to know to escape the need to use these batteries. But man, here we have what they did for the chest and the body area. The paint that they chose for the skin tone is incredible. Sometimes they make it too dark, like brownish, and this is a nice mixture of kind of a standard skin tone that's going to the reddish side of things. Now, if we go up towards the finger, unfortunately, this was the only break I had for the statues. This finger did come broken. I glued it on as best I could. There's a seam line, but you can't really see it from afar, right? When I back up, you don't even tell it's there, so it doesn't bother me. And then we have, again, those resin pieces that were sculpted on there. And if we look really close, into the armor and the rest of the body, you'll see some of the veins were also painted. They have nice coloring on there, as they're beginning to boil over in his body with all the heat and temperature that's rising. The clear resin pieces on the back just further reinforcing the fact that this is such a dynamic scene that's going on here. And flipping around to the front, we have the head sculpt. It is sculpted as all one giant piece together, so it's not removable, but the emotion they captured is amazing. Now, the hair is colored differently than the skin tones, and it's not like the clear resin, and you'll see why soon when we light this bad boy up. The smoke coming out of his mouth also looks incredible. And if we flip on the switch on the bottom of the battery cartridge, it lights the whole chest and body up. How amazing does this look? This has got to be one of the coolest things I've ever held, not only for the size, but how it, again, brings this whole scene to life. It actually looks like his hair is on fire, the way that it makes his eyes glow like it did in the show. This is like one of the apex moments of collectibles, seeing one of your favorite characters, one of your favorite scenes brought to life in a tangible, huge way, right? The quarter scale aspect of this is absolutely mind-blowing. If this isn't amazing enough already, when we dim the lights, it brings a whole nother life to the statue itself. And again, with the LEDs on there, they're kind of pulsating and moving. And here's the statue backed up all together in the dark. We'll bring the lights up, and there's how it looks. How crazy is that hair, right? The hair looks like it's actually on fire. Overall, just super satisfied with adding the custom LEDs on the statue. If you ever have some clear resin that's not lit up on a statue, give it a try, give it a whirl. It's amazing what it does to a statue in itself. I hope one day that some company does make a quarter scale 6-pass model. That would be awesome to showcase. And here is a look at my Singularity Workshop's 1/7 scale to see a size comparison. All right, everybody, hope you enjoyed yourself today. And as always, I'll see you in the next. Do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.